Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, I wanted to do this video because Eddie Hearn's made some interesting comments. He's basically said that Dmitry Bivol is the toughest test of Canelo Alvarez's career outside of Floyd Mayweather. This is what he told the DAZN boxing show. I've got to tell you, I'm not even talking about Canelo Alvarez GGG until the Bivol fight is over. I saw clips of Bivol. He's looking sensational on the pads. His footwork, his movement, his punching power. I'm telling you now, this may be the toughest fight of Canelo Alvarez's career outside of Floyd Mayweather. This is a really tough fight. I think if you're talking about destruction and power, Beterbiev is the guy. If you're talking about technical ability mixed with a little bit of punch power, smartness, freshness, you're talking about Dmitry Bivol. Beterbiev is old. There are signs against Callum Johnson, against these guys. When you have seen Dmitry Bivol hurt in a fight, so he said, when have you seen Dmitry Bivol hurt in a fight? When have you seen Bivol really look like he might lose a fight? Never. How good is Dmitry Bivol? We're going to find out. So there you have it. He makes quite interesting, statement there about Dmitry Bivol, saying that this may be the toughest fight. I totally disagree with that. It's not the toughest fight since Mayweather, because Canelo for me lost against Golovkin, although on paper it was a draw. So that was a very tough fight. Also, Lara was a very tough fight. I don't think Bivol's going to do as well as Lara did, but then again, I might be wrong. I think Bivol's a great fighter. I rate him, but I don't think this is going to be his toughest fight since Mayweather. I think Golovkin is by far leaps and bounds tougher than. I can't see Bivol being tougher than that, because I don't see Bivol beating Canelo. I think Canelo will get to him and stop him late on. But I respect Bivol's ability. I respect, what he's, his skill set and stuff. But firstly, he's not the best light heavyweight. Now, that's got to be proven. But in my opinion, Beterbiev is. I think Beterbiev would beat him. Secondly, Bivol is unproven. He hasn't fought anybody. Let's be brutally honest. He's not. His resume is bland. There's nothing there. I know we criticize Andrade and Charlo, but Bivol's got nothing there on his resume at 175. That's spectacular. John Pascal was a guy that was moved up from 168. He's not really a natural 175. Then we look at Joe Smith. Yeah, he's a champion now, and Beterbiev's fighting him, but really, Joe Smith's a very one-dimensional, limited guy. Who again, I don't think Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev is going to beat the brakes of him. So I think Bivol is kind of unproven, and as Eddie Hearn said, we're going to find out how good he really is. But when someone's unproven, and although he's got some nice skills, he could also collapse and completely underperform, or maybe just be overrated and not that good. And maybe Bivol's that guy. Maybe Bivol's not as good as what we make out. Maybe against CD level opposition he looks great, but when he comes up against this type of opposition, an elite fighter like Canelo, he's going to crumble, possibly. There's a possibility. I don't think so. I think he looks very calm. He looks very poised. He looks a complete fighter. But for me, I don't think this is the toughest fight since Mayweather. Not for me. I don't think Bivol is as good as as Golovkin. I think Golovkin's style was horribly wrong for Canelo, especially at that point in his career. Golovkin had a very horrible and tough style, and that's why both times it was very tough for Canelo. I don't think Bivol has that style. I don't think Bivol has a style that's going to really cause Canelo a lot of issues. I think Bivol has a style that's going to cause Canelo issues for certain parts in the fight where he's going to box and move and make it difficult. Golovkin has a kind of style where he's going to be making it difficult the whole fight. The whole night's going to be difficult. Everything is going to be difficult. You know, Bivol is a fighter who Canelo's faced. Now, Bivol might be more efficient and better at doing what, you know, he does than the other fighters that Canelo's faced, and he's also bigger. But I still think Canelo Alvarez has faced guys like this, and he's found a way. He's found a way of neutralizing and beating these type of guys. You know, I think Bivol is no different from a Plant, from a Saunders. Although he's better, he's much better, and he's tougher than all those guys that that Canelo's gonna fight. But in terms of tough fight, Golovkin was a tough fight because Golovkin's style was horrible. You know, Golovkin's a very technical pressure fighter that comes forward, that cuts off all your angles, and he punches very hard. I don't think Bivol has that kind of punching power either. So, you know, it's going to be tough for Bivol, but he's a good fighter. And again, when fighters like Bivol step up, we just don't know what to expect. Now, Bivol might be the truth, or Bivol might get battered. It just depends on how good Bivol is, how he can handle the pressure, how he can handle the big occasion, because we all know that Bivol's not been involved in a fight of this magnitude, or he's going to have experienced nothing like this before. And a lot of fighters get overwhelmed by that. A lot of fighters, you know, are like rabbits in the headlight, you know, because they've never experienced anything like this. Bivol's never experienced anything like this. The crowd, the atmosphere, you know, he's never had to be in this position before. Whereas the fighters that like Canelo, who have experienced this time and time again, they're used to this. They're used to the pressure. They're used to this atmosphere. They're used to the crowd. They're used to everything that comes with it. So, whereas Bivol is not. So again, sometimes that can overwhelm fighters. So there's a lot of things that we don't consider. It's not all comes down to your fighting ability, how good you are, how good you throw your jab, how good your footwork is. Sometimes it comes down to temperament. It comes down to the mental side of things, which we can't see. You know, and like boxing is a lot of it's mental. Like you speak to any fighter, they'll tell you boxing is a mental game. And if you crack mentally, then you're not going to win. And obviously Canelo has proven that he's a mentally very strong individual. He doesn't crack under pressure. You know, this is just another big occasion for him, just like any of his other fights. Because any fight that Canelo is involved in, it's a big event. Canelo's got to the stage of his career, Canelo can fight anybody, and it's seen as a huge event. It's seen as a massive event. Whereas these other guys like Bivol, Bivol could fight somebody like John Pascal, and nobody's really interested. There'll be like maybe 1,000, 2,000 people in the crowd, and that's the difference. You know, Bivol's not experienced anything like this before. This is a massive change for him. And he's not been in a big fight like that before. You know, Joe Smith, what's his biggest fight? Joe Smith? That wasn't really that big. So Bivol's going to experience something new. He's going to experience something different. He's going to have to show us what he's about. He's going to have to show us that, you know, he can handle this atmosphere. He can handle the pressure. He can handle Canelo Alvarez's skill set, because Canelo Alvarez is a guy that's been in there with everybody. You know, he's faced so many different styles at top level. You know, he's faced probably one of the quickest fighters in the history of the sport in Hearn. You know, Hearn had amazing hand speed, foot speed, and he overcame that. He came up against a very technically sound and one of the best pure boxers, probably of you know, like Lara's one of the best, in my opinion, pure boxers that we've had in the last 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years. You know, he was that good. Lara was a really good fighter. You know, he didn't get his plaudits. He was a bit, you know, he wasn't that well known, but, you know, anyone that knows boxing knows how good a boxer Lara was. Canelo overcame that challenge. You know, he faced, for me, probably one of the best pressure fighters in the history of the sport in Gennady Golovkin, and one of the greatest middleweights of all time, in my opinion. And Canelo, although had trouble with him, he overcame that in the second fight. So Canelo Alvarez has been there and done that. He's been in there with the best. He's been in there with the best. So this is nothing new to him. He's had fights of a very high stature. He's had fights which Bivol has not come close to having. So again, all of those things, like I said, are going to play a part. You know, it's not necessarily all about how good you are. It's not necessarily all about, oh, you know, who throws a better jab and who's got better footwork. Sometimes, you know, a fighter can freeze under the pressure. And these are things that we haven't seen of Bivol yet. There's many fighters that, you know, freeze, you know, on the big occasion. They're not able to deliver. It's all right, Bivol performing against Pascal, and they're not huge fights. There's a different feel. Bivol will feel something different on May the 7th. When he fights Canelo Alvarez. He would have never experienced anything like this before. So can he handle that heat? Can he handle that pressure? You know, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I don't think this is his toughest fight. I think Canelo Alvarez is fighting somebody that he fights. Like, Bivol is better than anyone that he's fought, that apart from Mayweather, of course. Is he better than Lara? Look, I think he's bigger than Lara, but he's not the biggest challenge. You know, toughest fight, no, because Gennady Golovkin was the toughest fight, and you could say Jacobs was also a very tough fight, and Jacobs is a very good fighter. So Canelo's had a lot of tough fights. You know, so to say this is his toughest challenge and toughest fight, I think Miguel Cotto was a tough fight. Miguel Cotto wasn't an easy fight. That was a very tough fight for Canelo. So again, is he going to live up to those kind of fights? I don't know. We'll have time will tell, because I don't think you can give someone that kind of praise or credit until they actually go in there and perform, because we don't know if he's even on Canelo's level. Like, we know he's got skills and we know he's got great jab, great movement, but like I said, can he put it together on night? Can he put it all together? Because sometimes fighters are not able to put it together. They may have a couple of good rounds and then they'll fall apart once Canelo starts putting a lot of pressure on them. So again, these are all things that are going to be tested on the night. Can Dmitry Bivol put it all together, or will the occasion get to him and be too much? I think Eddie Hearn's obviously a great promoter. He knows how to promote a fight, and you know, he's saying there, well, you know, Beterbiev has come close to losing. Yeah, but Beterbiev fought a massive puncher in Callum Johnson. You know, Bivol's not really fought anybody at that level. You know, and let's not forget, you guys rightfully pointed this out, that Bivol was hurt against Joe Smith towards the end of that fight. Yeah, he didn't get put down, but again, I would definitely say that Beterbiev's competition has been much stiffer. You know, he fought Govzik, he fought Marcus Brown, and now he's going to fight Joe Smith, the guy that, you know, probably the best guy that Bivol's beat. So, for me, beating Govzik is better than anything Bivol has done. Beating Callum Johnson, I would say Callum Johnson beats everybody that Bivol's beat, possibly. Callum Johnson would for me, that's another good win. So, Beterbiev's beat Callum Johnson, Govzik, Marcus Brown, and he's done that relatively not a lot of fights. And now he's fighting Joe Smith to add another belt to his collection. So I do think that people are overlooking Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev is a very skilled pressure fighter. I think he punches very hard. I think the fact that he was put down by Callum Johnson, who's a massive puncher, is not something that I think we should take much into, because he got up and won the fight and stopped him. And he's a destroyer. He destroys. He's knocked everybody out, and he looks like a monster. So for me, that is without question the toughest fight for Canelo in the light heavyweight division. That's without question the toughest fight for me. But anyway, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know your opinions, guys. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.